What's up, everybody? Card Dog action, man. Fantasy football playoffs, NFL playoffs, baby. Was that not one of the best weekends of NFL playoffs you have seen in a long time, right? A little bit to my demise on Sunday. I'm not going to lie. That was an emotional roller coaster. What's up, Drew? Easy does it. He's got the Burrow. I see the Burrow on the profile pic. What's up, Joel? Let's go, Burrow. You got those cards listed. Are you selling? Hey, what's up, Mike Ham? You recovered from the Tampa Bay loss, brother? Jets crazy in the house. What's good, Matt Vescovi? I'm not sure which dog he's got in the fight, but I know he enjoyed some football last weekend. I'll say Zach Wilson finished the season pretty good. I'm somewhat cautiously optimistic about Zach Wilson's future in New York. I think he might turn out okay. Holding on the Burrow. I can't blame you there, man, because I can only see his cards going up from here. I'm not sure what you guys think is going to happen this week in Kansas City. The Cincinnati Bengals defense is getting better. They're getting better, right? But it's Patrick Mahomes, man. It's Travis Kelce, man. I somewhat tormented myself last night by watching the mic'd up version of that NFL puts out from last weekend's games. And it was somewhat, I was like kind of saddened when I got to the Tampa Bay part, but that Kansas City part, man, the Kansas City Buffalo finale Sunday night, and listening to the way Travis Kelce was picking apart the defense, telling Mahomes, he said, "Hey, man, that seam's open. He was saying, Tyreek, hey, dude, run to the sideline, come back in. You're going to be open." Man, it's incredible the experience and the knowledge that guy brings to the football field. He was really calling some really good offensive schemes there towards the end. Long time no see JJ Bama in the house, man. I think that Stafford wins. We're going to talk about that tonight. My co-host Steve is having some technical difficulties right now. But we got a lot of fun stuff to cover tonight, guys. Of course, we're going to do some live betting. And of course, we're going to be doing some live eBay sniping, guys. I already put in a speaking of which, the time snuck up on me here. I got a new video clip that I added in here. Little Card Dog hype video here for you guys. While that uploads. Oh no, the Todd Bowles, man. Are you still just so disappointed that we didn't call a prevent defense on the last play of that game? All we needed was prevent defense. We would at least had a chance. Now, it did come down to a coin toss. And so the thing is, they had Buffalo. They had some guys mic'd up from the defense on Buffalo. They were the one guy was hoping that Josh Allen was not going to call tails on that overtime coin flip. But if Todd Bowles would at least called a prevent defense that last play of the Tampa Bay Rams game, all we had to do was keep him in the middle of the field, keep him. Matt Gay could not make a kick earlier in the game from 46 yards or whatever, 44 yards or whatever it was. So if we would just keep him at a reasonable distance away, they would have never made a kick. It would have gone to overtime, and then who knows what would have happened, right? What would have, should have, could have, right? But yeah, man, it was a bad call. We blitzed 6 people. 6. There's no reason to blitz 6. Joe Garza got a nice looking card, Andy. Check out Tom Brady Illusions. Oh, Illusions. Yellow Diamond. All right. We got a little card dog action just popping right off the bat here. Let's do it, man. Let's do it. Let's see. There we go. That's the cue. What year is that, Joel? Brady. Oh, it helps if I share my screen. Let's see. Steve Elmore, what's good, man? Got Cincy with Burrow with the win. Oh, man. Big pig. Steve comes. He doesn't come around very. I haven't seen you in a while, Steve, but you got the bold take tonight, man. I'd love to see it. JJ, still recovering from that one. Don't blame me, man. I can't say that I blame you. That was rough, man. I was in shock for a good 10, 15 minutes because I was, after being down for the first half and then coming all the way back, it was a crazy sequence of events. I was all hyped up, ready to go. We're going to overtime, man. And then for just the rug just to be snatched underneath you. So I can only imagine what Buffalo Bills fans felt like Sunday night, just absolutely heartbroken. I'm sure there's some Buffalo people that just like haven't even got out of bed all week, some Bills Mafia guys out there. Let's look at this Tom Brady Yellow Diamonds illusion here that Joel is talking about. Let's check it out, man. I want to check out Yellow Diamond. I want to hear from you guys in the chat. Do you guys think Brady is going to actually retire? Could that be possible? Tom Brady retires? I mean, it does make sense. I think that this is as good a time as any for him to go out, right? It would have been nice to go to overtime. Josh Allen says it would have been nice for him just to get the ball in overtime. Here we go. Is this what you talk? I am a fan of illusions for the fact that it puts that portrait in the background behind the player in the action pose. Numbered out of 249 too. I love the difference in pictures here. See, taking the card out of a top loader does make a big difference in that picture. Also having backlighting and not having a reflection. There's quite a few of these on here. 100, 169, 39.99. We've got one in auction ending Sunday night. That may be a snipe right there. This is probably one of the better pictures. Man, look at that refraction on this card. Wow. That's cool. I do like it. Little gold Buccaneer text at the top left. Tom Brady looking downfield, trying to find Big Mike. Gronk got the ankles quadruple taped up. Got the 19 out of 249 there, and then you got the big silhouette portrait in the back. That's a pretty cool card. And what's up, Brian in the house? Gronk. I just don't. Nicholas, what's up, man? Nicholas says I just don't see him retiring. I don't either. I mean, if you're Brady at this point, why not keep playing till the wheels fall off, right? He wants to go out on a Super Bowl. Mike says he thinks 50-50 he retires. 50-50. I know he wants to go out on a Super Bowl, but this was pretty close. And I mean, he did make an incredible comeback in that second half. Beautiful deep ball to Mike Evans. I think if Brady's gone, then Gronk's gone for sure. The problem is we might lose Chris Godwin. We got to figure out what to do with him. Leonard Fournette. Ronald Jones is not really much of an issue. But we also have to figure out some defensive guys as well, man. I just don't know if we're going to be able to have that fantastic of a roster next year. It might be worse than this year, and that's going to be a lot. It could potentially be a lot more challenging for Brady, and at his age, I don't know. He's been talking pretty seriously about it with the wife, man, the wife and the kids. What's good, Brian? Brian, man, how you feeling about the Big Ben news today? Big Ben finally hanging the cleats up. 18 years, man. Let's see what kind of pick. Oh, the Burrow passing yards, 287.5. Oh, if you guys are just joining the live stream here, please go ahead and make sure you smash that like button. Let that YouTube algorithm know that we are doing some live betting and some live eBay auction hunting for football cards here on the Quest. My co-host is see if he texts me. No, he's having some technical difficulties at the moment. Had to get a new internet router set up, so he'll be in a little bit. We might go ahead and fill out a slip while we're waiting for him, because I'm feeling pretty good about some of these picks. We're narrowed. We got 4 games going here now. Of course, the Chiefs are 7-point favorites in this game. Do you think Cincinnati can cover? I think it's going to be another wild finish here, guys. I gotta say that the Bengals defense has been getting a little bit better. Now, that's by no means, obviously, that they're going to be able to stop Patrick Mahomes or hold him to a respectable number. If he wants to turn the Jets on and start just like throwing balls sideways and hitting Travis Kelce and Tyreek Hill in space for touchdowns, then that's what he's going to do. That's what they need to do. It's going to be really tough for Cincinnati to hold them, but Bengals can put up points, man. Bengals can put up some serious points. So I'm really liking the Joe Mixon 30.5 receiving yards. I'm liking the Jamar Chase 6 receptions. I mean, in a pressure packed situation, any and all of these Bengals offensive CJ Uzoma. I mean, CJ Uzoma, how many yards did he have last week? 71. And see, Las Vegas and wildcard round 64. Burrow likes to pepper him lately. Like, that's an easy one for me. I had to check the injury status of Tyrann Mathieu. I'm curious to see what he's got going on. Let's see. What's the injury status on that honey badger? Injury. Let's see. Here we go. Updated 3 hours ago. Who's all this? On Thursday. Well, that's today. Mathieu returned to the practice field for the first time, indicating that he has progressed in the NFL's concussion protocol and will be available for the AFC Championship game. Oh, Joel wants to talk some Rodgers to Denver action. We got Marcus Mariota talk coming over here in the chat. Dwayne Haskins may get a shot. I have seen an article, Steve, already that Dwayne Haskins is going to get a shot. There's going to be a heated battle if the Pittsburgh Steelers don't draft a quarterback in the first round. I mean, they're in a pretty good position in the first round of the draft. You got some big defensive players. We're also going to be spinning up a show here pretty soon with my guy, Brandon Kavanaugh, who is just in the weeds of the college football and the mock drafting. Very knowledgeable about all things college football. And so we're going to be bringing him in because I think that the draft is going to have a big impact on a lot of different current players that we're currently in collecting and investing, and it's going to affect their values. I mean, big defensive players, skill position players, the quarterbacks for this draft class seem a little bit underwhelming, but there's a few guys that I think are noteworthy. I've already seen Pittsburgh being projected to potentially take a guy like a Kenny Pickett, for example. Brian is convinced that Mason Rudolph will start for the Steelers. I am not so convinced, man. I haven't seen anything special. Yes. Bam. Jay, you would think so. You would think this would help your Judy cards. However, man, this is the thing. If Rodgers goes to Denver, he's taking Devontae Adams with him. If he takes Devontae Adams with him, the Green Bay Packers want some collateral in return. So this is the talk on the street, Jay. This is the dirty talk on the street, is that Rodgers goes with Devontae Adams to Denver. In return, Green Bay gets none other than Jerry Jeudy. So how do you feel about Jordan Love throwing Jerry Jeudy the football? Oh, I would love to see Minshew Mania go to Pittsburgh. That would be pretty cool. That would be pretty cool, man. Wow is right, man. I mean, I don't think Judy's values can go down much more. It would be a chance for him to establish himself as a clear alpha, but that's a big difference between getting a Hall of Fame quarterback and going to a team with a rookie quarterback. Oh man, that would be crazy. But they just extended Cortland Sutton's contract. They just extended Tim Patrick, and Green Bay is not going to accept KJ Hamler coming off an injury. I know KJ Hamler's closely comparable to a Deshaun Jackson, but they're not gonna take him for Devontae Adams. No, they're gonna want Jeudy. It would have to involve Jerry Jeudy, unfortunately. But Mason had almost a full season, Brian, did he not? Whenever Big Ben missed 2019 with the injury. I mean, I know it wasn't like just total trash, but at the same time, it wasn't we didn't see flashes of greatness that I mean, he was serviceable at best from what I remember. Now you got me want to go look up the Mason Rudolph grades, PFF grades from 2019. I honestly think that Dwayne Haskins is going to get a serious shot here, especially if they don't draft a QB. Honestly, even if they draft a QB, I think Mike Tomlin is going to pit all of them against each other. I think you're going to have a competition between Mason Rudolph, between Dwayne Haskins, and potentially the rookie quarterback that they draft. All right, view career. Let's check it. 2019. In 2019, he took 188 snaps. 188 steps, Brian. And his grades were very average to below average. Fumbling grades, not good. 5 fumbles, which, I mean, that's what happens a young quarterback. So I don't see my people putting their money on Mason Rudolph. I got to oh yeah, Jameis Winston's another guy potentially on the move. Saints got to find a coach first, man. They got to find a coach. They got to get their act together. I'm going to be pretty kind of upset if they get Byron Leftwich. That's the other thing. Brady's going to lose Byron Leftwich. He's going to lose Byron Leftwich for 2022. Byron Leftwich is about to get, although it does look like Byron Leftwich is going to go to Jacksonville. That just makes too much sense. Oh, yeah. Jameis is definitely going to start somewhere. What's up? What's happening, Raven? Hope you're staying warm up there in the frozen tundra. Darnold can move wherever he wants, man. He's good at keeping the bench warm. He's really good. I mean, he can, decide between Gatorade and water. Can help the guys keep that bench warm. Being a little rough on Sam Darnold. Come on, man. He flamed out pretty bad. Maybe not as bad as Cam Newton did coming back to the Panthers, but he flamed out. Let's look at this. Let's look at this. Well, I'm glad it doesn't bother you. I'm glad it doesn't bother you, Bama. Maybe it's not that big of a deal. 2018. Let's go look at the sold Mason Rudolph cards. Let's do a little comp in action. 2018 Mason Rudolph. Somebody got him in front of the perfume bottle here. Definitely selling some cards. Buy it now. People making little investments. What is this? Prism Silver PSA 9. That's really cheap. 42. That was an auction though. I want to see some buy it now. Here we go. Someone dropped 120 PSA 9 rookie ticket auto. Let's see, 50. There's a 50 on a raw Prism Silver. You can definitely see, yeah, I mean, this is quite a few buy it nows I'm looking at here, guys. So definitely the expectation is right now that Mason Rudolph is going to be the quarterback. Now let's compare that. There's definitely quite a few people here that are willing to make that gamble. But let's compare that to 2019 Dwayne Haskins. Oh, Dwayne. So we got auction, buy it now. PSA 10, base Prism PSA 10, 25, 30 Prism, white field level out of 35 for 100. Somebody got that field level itch, Crown Royal. A nice little optic hollow right there. Buy it now. 40. I mean, that's pretty solid. Well, it's 2018 optic hollows, so those are, fairly scarce. Definitely compared to 2020, even 2019. It's a nice little partial NFL logo patch. On card auto though, 3 out of 25. Pretty cheap though, considering. I mean, that's pretty cheap today. It looks like there's about the same, maybe a few more cards for Haskins, but he comes with more FOMO. He's younger. We haven't seen as much, so and he comes with higher draft capital, um, being drafted in the first round. So when you look at this stuff, I think that I think more people are going to put their bets on Dwayne Haskins now if they draft a quarterback. So I think what this says is that the values of Dwayne Haskins are probably going to slowly trickle up, and so is Mason Rudolph, because there's obviously there's a mixed opinion between who's going to be the starting quarterback, and we don't know. None of us know. It looks like it's going to be a competition. So I think the value of both Rudolph and Haskins go up into the draft. Speculation. Then the Steelers draft a quarterback. Now all of a sudden, I think you're going to see those cards drop back off. So you could probably, I would say with pretty high confidence level, make some snipes on some Haskins and Rudolphs right now with the anticipation that they're going to go up into the draft and then sell those at draft time, like sell them that night of the first round before they get a chance to pick a quarterback. Let's go back to the chat over here. Man, you guys are on fire in the chat. Joel says he remembers buying a Premier Select for $250 and getting burned. Oh, was that man? That's the thing with Sam Darnold. You had to sell his cards before week 4. If you didn't do a quick flip on Darnold and we're going for the season-long run on him, because he did come out of the gates hot, then you did get burned, man. You got burned. Got burned pretty bad. Yeah, that's ouch. Well, that's a good thing you got the optic preview, right? That's important because the optic preview is considerably more rare, shorter print run than the regular optics guys. And Joel taught me this. The optic previews are a short print insert that they release in the base Donruss set. They've got them out this year as well. You'll see them. They're way, way, way more rare. They have a little P dash on the back card. Your boy Joel here has got a Joe Burrow optic preview hollow that he's sitting on. So I know he's happy about that. Kind of makes up for the Sam Darnold 250 purchase. I know you were, Matt. You were bullish on him, and you actually made out like a bandit on him at the beginning of the season. Just hope that you sold by week 4. To mitigate all those losses. All right, so we've comped out the, somebody else that's going to continue to appreciate, and I talked about this in my video earlier today, and that's Jordan Love, just based on the speculation of Rodgers. We don't know whether Jerry Jeudy's going to be sent in collateral with Devontae Adams. Of course, Devontae Adams, like Gronk for Brady, is wanting to go with his quarterback, that connection. So if he does, I mean, ultimately, I think our focus should be on Jordan Love right now in this scenario. So, and the thing is, like, you can still find right now some cheap cards for Joe Burrow because of the insane amount of variety that Panini printed in 2020. Be very interesting to see if this changes in the future as Fanatics acquires these licenses and potentially makes a run with Topps or their own brand in the football card space here in the future. But right now, Panini is printing an incredible variety, right? Just an incredible variety, a number of sets, the number of parallels per set, the number of inserts per set, that sort of thing. So you can still find, for example, a Chronicles rookie card, Joe Burrow for $4. And this is why Joe Burrow consistently maintains on the weekend, on game day weekends. The past month, he's maintained like 2, 3, 4,000 cards being sold almost per day on eBay. And it's like, how the hell is that possible? And that just goes to show you the amount of variety that Panini printed in 2020. I mean, you could still get a base concourse, but like base concourse was just, I mean, if you looked at the print run from base concourse from 2017 and compared it to that of 2020, I mean, just to simplify it, it's probably, I don't know. What would you guys in the chat think? I'm guessing it's probably somewhere between it, to simplify it in terms of a fraction, right? 2017 would be one concourse, 2020 would be 100 kind of thing. I think that's the kind of increase that we probably saw because they released Select in retail for the first time and they printed the base cards. See, the thing is, they increased the print run on these base cards and they printed more variety of parallels and inserts, but we're getting to the point now where even these base cards for Joe Burrow here are getting to a respectable level. I mean, at least they're not 50 cents, a dollar. They could be. I mean, this card could continue to go up just because of how many Joe Burrow rookie cards are selling on a daily basis. Now we start to get into something. Orange Cracked Ice. It's a nice card. Start to get into a few $100s. And that's because the scarcity on anything that's got color, prism are still very scarce. The print runs are still pretty short. Oh, man, I love the Dallas Goedert talk. I get down on some Dallas Goedert talk. I think Dallas Goedert does have 1,000-yard season this year. I think Dallas Goedert could be a top 3, top 5 tight end in 2022. I mean, he's incredible. Now without Zach Ertz there, I mean, Dallas Goedert took big steps forward the second half of the season. He looks incredible, man. Dallas Goedert's got a lot of Travis Kelce in him. I see a lot of Travis Kelce in Dallas Goedert. In fact, I bought a few of his autos earlier. I'm a big Dallas Goedert fan, and he's a 2018 as well. Just saying, I sold so many Joe Burrows after his injury. Oof. I mean, depending on the Burrows that you had, that's the thing. There's some cards that are never as valuable as when they are first released. I mean, look at Evan McPherson right now. Is there any way, even if Evan McPherson makes a game-winning kick this weekend or the Super Bowl, that next year, let's fast forward to next year, that his mosaics go up in value from where they're at right now? There's no way. It's a brand new set. He's a rookie athlete, and he's winning, helping his team win games in the playoffs on the most revolutionary team pretty much in the league in the Cincinnati Bengals. So I don't think that they ever, I mean, I would say with 99.9% confidence, they'll never be able to get back up to close to the value, because eventually when Panini gets their act together with their paper products or whatever they've got going on out there, they're going to be pumping out the Prism, the Optic, the Select, the Contenders, and those values of the mosaic are going to go down. And he's not going to be able to recapture the current hype that is out there for him right now. And we see that with any type of new product rookie athlete. So, for example, I was buying mosaic Joe Burrows when they first came out for $20 a pop. Now, granted, he's the most hyped up quarterback in the hobby because of the amount of variety and print run like we talked about. So that's why I say he's more hyped than Patrick Mahomes, simply because a lot of people can't afford Patrick Mahomes cards. Even his base Donruss rated rookie, whereas you can get in on that Joe Burrow action. There's just more available, more supply to equate to equal out with that demand. So, I mean, I was buying these for these NFL debut mosaics for $20 a pop. There's one today. I don't know, like that's undervalued. Come on, now this is snipe. This is snipe. Someone let this end earlier for just a couple dollars. I mean, I know it's an NFL debut. It's looks like this card looks like crap in this picture, but I think this is just like maybe a scan. No, there's no way. It looks like kind of looks like a scan to be honest, but I think it's just like overexposed light, or maybe they turn the exposure up on their phone. But 100% positive feedback. But this is the thing. This card closed in an auction for $2.61 tonight on Joe Burrow. So, and yeah, I've got watchers on the Joe Burrow base mosaics, but this is the kind of phenomenon that we see with the mosaics from 2020. Even on your boy Joe Burrow. So, but as soon as we get to the silvers, all right, now we got 12 bids, $86, representative of the scarcity. And or grade PSA 10 condition. There's still a lot of people that are absolutely devoted to the PSA 10 condition and the PSA 10 so literally this card sold for just a few minutes different than the raw one for 100 times more. 100 times more. PSA 10 still got it, baby. So that's interesting, because why would someone, it must have been turned into a bidding war on this one, because here's a PSA 10 right underneath it and a mosaic gold reactive that closed for $13 less. Why the heck would you not want color matched reactive mosaic sparkly pretty background for less? I guarantee you is either maybe it's something shady, or you just had a couple guys that got into a bidding war on this one. They were going back and forth. They were going at it. There just was different bidders in this color. I've heard that's just how this cookie crumbles sometimes. I don't personally list a lot of auctions for this reason. I like to capture the more impulsive buyers. There's nothing wrong with being impulsive. I've done it before, but I like to capture that type of hype. I hear you here. I hear you here, Bama. I hear you here, Bama, but I disagree. I think there's a lot of people that want raw. I think there's like myself, but I know a lot of other people that want raw as well, especially because they're investing in ultra modern young players, and the plan is to then reflip it raw a lot of times. But I will say, I did a pretty decent submission of like 10, 12 cards to SGC, all purchased from eBay, And I got 40% 10s in that order. Now I did hand pick out of like 50 cards that I bought from eBay, right? And narrowed it down to just those 10. And that's what I submit. But some of them were raw cards that I spent 70, 80, close to $100 on, that I sent in to SGC, and they came back a 10. Cards that I looked at on eBay and I thought, yeah, it looks good. Probably similar to the StarStock pre-grading service. Yeah, it looks good. I don't see any damage on the corners here. I don't, see any obvious. There we go. We got a big banner. I don't see any obvious edge wear, or centering something that you can see pretty easily looking on eBay. Like this card, I'd say, yeah, that's centered to 10 out of 10, left to right here. And looking top to bottom, I'd be like, hell yeah, this card is really well centered. This is like a scan, so I think it's a scan. So, but I mean, it's like something like that nick right there on the right side of the screen. That's something I'd look at. But then I don't know if that's just a piece of dust from the top loader. And if this card went for, you know, I'd love to get $30 or something. If this card went for like around $30 and it was in an auction, I had the chance to get it, I'd buy it and then examine it when it got here to the house. And if it checked all the boxes, then I'd submit. But I think that there's a lot of people that are happy with selling raw for raw, and they don't necessarily pay that much attention to the fine details. They're more drawn to the card itself, like the player and the card itself, the fine details, and their intentions are to either hold it and flip it raw, or hold it in their collection for a little bit and then try and liquidate it in a raw format. They don't really want to get into that whole grading game. I think there's a lot of people out there like that. I mean, I see it. I mean, see hundreds and thousands of raw cards bought and sold on eBay every week. And this is just football too. Maybe it's different though in basketball, because I know basketball is a lot of what drives the hobby, right? When we talk about quarterbacks driving football card hobby, well, basketball, if you look at the hobby as a whole, I'd probably say it's basketball and baseball cards that actually drive the hobby as a whole. Oh, Shelly dropping the knowledge bombs. PSA finally opened a new $50 submission level. I did see that SGC opened a new submission level that's just slightly more expensive than their 30. It's at 40, and it's like 10 business days. I was like, whoa. Mike Ham says the new market is conditioned on everything having to be graded. Well, I will agree with this to a degree, but I still think that there are a lot of people. Now I'll say, when you look at, the new market in terms of the content creators, the people you see and hear talking about sports cards all the time, yes, they are conditioned on everything having to be graded, myself included. I am looking at all the fine details every time I look at a card now. I always look at the corners. I examine the surface, the edges. Whereas before, I have bought purchases from eBay that would probably not even get a PSA 8 or 7. And those cards I flipped raw. And I still do that occasionally, but not as much now. I am way more in tune with the fine details, because I have in the back of my head that if I do get a 10 on this card, I get it graded. I can have 10x to the value of the card, maybe more, depending on the. And that's still true. Like, we just looked at the PSA 10. That's still true. Is the 2021 Phoenix out now, Joel? Is that what you're talking about? 2021 Panini Phoenix. Is that what you're saying? Hit the shelves. We got football. I see some football here. This is this is 2020. 2020. It's a Kittle. That's his rookie card. George Kittle was not printed in very much variety at all. I mean, we're talking Phoenix and rookie ticket autos. I wonder if that's like the low listing on here. He's been pretty quiet. I mean, it's been a Deebo Samuel show. I mean, they're gonna need Deebo Samuel to step up. Is he even on? I have to look at the slip, see if he's even on here. Let's see what these cards have been going for. He's the most volatile tight end in the league, man. And a lot of that stems from play calling, Kyle Shanahan, and a quarterback scenario with Jimmy Garoppolo. But with the limited variety Kittle was printed in, man, 64, 60, and these are still auction. These are auctions, so yeah, he's value consistent. Oh wow, someone got him a nice little snipe there on 21st, $30, one bid. It begs the question: when did this auction? 5 p.m. baby, you know it. See, this is a snipe right here, guys. I'm back at 100%. $30 for a George Kittle rookie card when he's only printed in 2 different sets, and like there's only like 8 different variations. That begs for the snipe emoji. What do we got? Mike, what you got, Mike? I love raw cards and still have not graded a card, but need to grade. What? No way, dude. I would never guess you never graded cards. I would never have guessed Michael Ham is a grading submission virgin. Never would have guessed it. Huh. You learn something new every day. H2 Classics as a product. I am heavy in Ayuk as well. I'm heavy in Ayuk. I was not happy about that ball he dropped last week. I was not happy about that. And then he did drop another one, or the one that was originally ruled a fumble but came back an incomplete pass. Luckily, people forgot about that because they won. He is good though too. He is good, but Deebo Samuel's making him look like a kid out there. H2 Classics. What H2 Classics? You know, I'm not a big fan. Are you talking about the 2021? Actually, I kind of like these 2021 Classics looks. Like that's pretty cool, man. I like the retro. I don't know what year this was from. That has to be like 60s. I'm guessing 60s or 70s right there. Somebody in the chat know what year that this little outline from the 2021 Classics is from? Because that's pretty cool, man. This, I don't know, something about ultra modern cards made with a retro outline, a retro background. I like it. Justin Fields, rookies. That's cool. Yeah, I'm a fan. I get down with that, especially if they're printing serial numbered cards. There's the Brady. There's the Brady, 1999. That's not bad at all. Is that what you're looking at? Did I just find your card? Oh, we got the gaming god in the house. They got Trey Lance. Let's pray for Trey Lance's future next year that Jimmy Garoppolo has a bad game this weekend. Yes, I have had this issue before, Jackson. It drives me nuts. That's a friendly hobby tip, man. If you make an offer, plan to pay for it. If someone accepts the offer, it's pretty straightforward. But I have had this, man, and I typically will give them 2 messages. If they don't pay within a day, I'll send them a message, ping them, and then if they stall out again, I don't get a message, because right now we've got very, very small windows of opportunity to capture some massive hype on some players. So if they don't pay within 72 hours, I'm about to yank the rug out from underneath their feet, if you know what I'm saying. I'm about to slam the door in their face, because it's like, come on, man. Now you're not 72 hours, 4 days. How much time are you supposed to give somebody before they pay? It's like they sent you an offer, especially if you accepted the offer right straight away. I can get it. I get it if it was Friday night, for example, and they sent you an offer and you accepted it and they don't pay till Monday morning because you can't ship the card out on the weekend anyways. I mean, I guess you could. You go ahead and print out the label, get it ready, all that kind of stuff. But um, I'm okay with that. I'm okay with that type of thing because if I've got a card listed Friday, chances are that I'm not going to modify the listing. Now here I am. I'm saying that as this last weekend, I took down a Gabriel Davis listing while watching the Bills Chiefs game and doubled the price on it and then sold it that night. What's up, Tom? Welcome to the chat, Tom Bullard. Hope Jimmy G goes big because got a Topps Finest Gold numbered out of 10 rookie card PSA 8 for like 25 back in August, and it was definitely a snipe to try to flip. This is a great weekend, Tom. Get that sucker listed, brother. I think you got to get that sucker listed. PSA 9 too. 4 days is way too long, bro. Way too long to sit on a card like that. Blaine trying to get him a basketball card sale. I hope it goes smooth, man. I did have one Jalen Hurts. I had my very first refund, and this was a Jalen Hurts rookie card, Panini Phoenix Rookie Rising. I didn't sell it for that much either. I took wonderful pictures of it, man. Had some nice refraction on it. Sold it. And I mean, I was kind of upset. Like, dude, you bought this understanding. Like, I had great pictures, spelled everything out in the description, and he said that the case was dirty and that there was a blemish on the corner of the card, and asked for a refund. And we went back and forth over a couple messages, and eventually I was like, "What, you know?" You send it back and I'll give you the refund. So he sent it back. It arrived today and I get to give this guy a refund. And the weird thing was he had thousands of transactions on his feedback. And it was like, I was just confused. Like it was like a $20 card. He paid $20 for it. It was just really strange that he returned that. Hey, what's up? Card Dojo, man. We got Sean in the house. I asked Sean earlier if he is able to find any product on store shelves. I'm curious to hear from you guys in the chat. Any of you guys out there, if you're just joining the live stream, first of all, if you could please hit that like button. I was doing some pick'ems earlier. Kind of surprised Steve's not here yet. May not show up. He was having some internet issues. I'm pretty sure he's like stuck in a snowstorm. He may be trying to clean the snow out of his telecom closet. But hit that like button, guys, and let me know in the chat if you are able to find any type of 2021 football cards on the shelves of your Walmarts or Targets out there. I'd love to hear your opinion on that. Tom, man, jamming out in that profile pic. I like it. Looks like you getting ready to jam out, man. Looks like a bass guitar. Fantasy and football are my faves. I've been watching and enjoying your content for quite a while. First time catching you live. Thanks for the welcome. Guess I got to click the bell. Yes, sir. Click the bell. Do it. Oh, I bet you Trevor Lawrence is cheap right now. I mean, the coaching change alone, I think that Urban Meyer was a terrible. I think he was dragging that whole team down, man. I think they may have had a much different season if they had a coach that was actually serious for the long term. But I mean, he's the number one overall draft pick. I think that he's definitely got to go up in value. Jags are going to have a good draft pick. Who do they take? Is it a big defensive player? Well, shoot, that's going to help out their team. We saw some flashes of brilliance from their defense this past season. So, I mean, They beat the Bills. I put a hurting on them, and they beat the Colts last week of the season. And Trevor Lawrence actually had the best game of his entire year the last week of the season. So he finished the season super strong. What's to say he doesn't start off 2022 guns blazing, coming out the gate? You got DJ Chark back from injury. You got Marvin Jones still there. You got Travis Etienne back from injury. You got a new coach. You got Byron Leftwich out there. Got the confidence from being a coach with Brady. Now coming into Jacksonville, calling plays for Trevor, and Trevor throws 350 yards and 4 touchdowns week ones. His cards go up 3-4x in value. I could see it happening. I could see it happen. Look at this, man. And we got some preliminary hype. That's because you guys on the quest. There's some smart dudes out there. Some smart dudes, man. What's up, Wayne? Picked up a Trevor Lawrence today. What's good, Will? Russell Wilson, I'm very interested. Russell Wilson is a fascinating storyline this offseason. Fascinating. So I've seen still a significant amount of hype for DK Metcalf, believe it or not. And of course, I mean, Russell Wilson rookie cards are still pretty expensive, especially you compare him to like a Ryan Tannehill, who's, coming back for Tennessee. But there's a big difference there in skill level. Also, Kirk Cousins may not be on the Minnesota Vikings this upcoming season, giving rise to the rookie Kellen Mond, who drew a lot of comparables to Patrick Mahomes in college. So that's a storyline. And Kirk Cousins, another 2012 rookie, and dude throws for a ton of yards. Now he doesn't have that same swag that Russell. Neither one of those guys have the same swag or deep ball capabilities as Russell Wilson, or athletic abilities. I know Ryan Tannehill, he's a pretty decent scrambler at times, but Russell Wilson really knows how to evade pressure quite well, and extend plays in the pocket, in the backfield, and hit his guys deep downfield for a lot of touchdowns. And he's a proven winner as well. So you want to jump on stream, Mike? You gonna help me make my pick'ems tonight? Let's do it, man. Yeah. Text me your email, bro. Boom. The Card Dojo says, do you think 2020 or 2021 sealed wax can increase to anywhere near 2017 prices today in 4 years? I think 2020 could, if Joe Burrow starts winning Super Bowls. However, if he doesn't and Justin Herbert doesn't, then no, I don't think so, because 2017 was such a damn good draft class, and there's just so much more scarcity, and the product availability is just so much more rare. No way. Mike Ham's got an AOL email address. We got it. Yeah. Blaine says, I wish 2021 had better QBs. He's got an AOL as well. What's up with you guys having an AOL email? I didn't know that AOL was still that popular, man. Jefferson Taylor. Oh, baby. Believe you mean Justin Jefferson. I appreciate that, Soma Lama. Sama Lama. It's one of the little funniest videos I've ever seen is that llama talking. I can't remember what it was, like commercial or something. A lot of people are holding on to T-Law. You know, man, with this paper shortage that Panini is experiencing right now that I've heard about, shout out to my guy Jay up there. He talked to a prominent card shop owner in his area, and he said Panini is experiencing a paper shortage. And I would say in my industry, I am getting significant supply chain shortages on pretty much all technology related components. So I will say the supply chain issues are real. And if they're getting their paper card stock from anywhere overseas, then yeah, they're probably are having a serious supply chain shortage. And that is what is postponing the release of Prism, and the reason why we haven't seen release dates for Optic or Select. And this is only going to make the cards that are out now for these 2021 rookies appreciate in value, because people aren't going to stop buying them. People aren't going to stop holding them, which, you know, restricts the supply of them. And so these are the cards that we have to invest in. So if I can get, for example, a base rated rookie, Trevor Lawrence, even a base mosaic right now, which is one of the few chrome cards out for the guy, I don't think that's a bad buy at all. I would comp this against Mac Jones, and I can already tell you that I have looked at Mac Jones 2021 mosaic rookie cards, and they're way more expensive than this. Ladies and gentlemen, we've got a guest in the house.
Hey.
Not Steve the Hitman Scaladesi. This is Michael the Fishman Ham.
That's right. The lack of Fishman Ham. It's too cold to go fishing right now.
It's too cold to go fishing.
You hear me all right?
Now. Yeah, I got you, man.
Right,
How
good,
do I
good,
sound?
Good. No, you sound good. So you were asking about retail on shelves, which I can speak a lot to that just because I go out and I do that type of hunting, and I have my group of friends that we all, you know, try to go to the same place and share, you know, where everybody gets something. And right now we're seeing Illusions football, mega boxes, some blasters, you know, stuff like that. But the thing is with Illusions, I enjoy the hobby way more than the retail. Same thing with Absolute. The hobby is a better buy for overall cards. If you're just chasing kabooms, then Absolute retail's fine, because I think you get 1 to 2 kabooms per blaster box case is what it's averaging right now. I know a lot of people have also said that, hey, there's a lot more kabooms this year. There are, because the list of players involved are so much bigger than it used to be. So you don't have 12 guys, you have like 24, 34 guys. So yeah, it may feel like everybody's hitting a kaboom, but they're not hitting a main kaboom in those factors. You know, I've hit 2 kabooms this year or last year, Justin Jefferson, which I sold, and then the kaboom Patrick Mahomes of him making the throw sideways where he's falling down. So they have a vertical and a horizontal are kaboom, and the horizontals are usually a little bit more special than the verticals. Like Tom Brady has 2. He has a Patriots and then the Bucks Super Bowl celebration photo. So some of the photos are dictated based off an event, and that's what makes them special.
No way. They made a kaboom parallel this year?
Yeah, basically. If you type in Tom Brady kaboom, there's 2 for this year. There's a Patriots and there's a Bucks. The Bucks is him throwing his arms up in the air in celebration after the Super Bowl. So that's the Super Bowl photo. And then the Mahomes, there's one of him running, and then that one right there is the celebration. And the other ones of the Mahomes of him throwing the ball as he's falling, basically where he has barely almost nothing touching the ground, but he's still throwing the ball somehow. And that's the one I have, which I need to send to get graded, which unfortunately I have to send to PSA to get the most value out of.
No doubt, man.
Yeah, because almost all the kabooms have what everybody calls a print line on them. And what that print line is, it's not on the card. Yeah. It's underneath the top of the card. There's no physical bump in the card. That's what drives me nuts about this. It has nothing to do with the surface. It literally has only to do with the visual aspect of the card. That card right there. Yeah, the one that's 1950. That's hint of that throwing motion, going away. But like a PSA 9 sells for like $1,800. I should think I have mine up here. See if it's readily available. Oh, that's funny. I grabbed the other one. So, hey, you recognize this?
Is that my Gene Nelson?
That's your Gene Nelson waiting for you, buddy.
That's cool, man.
And right,
yeah, for anybody that's just oddly curious out there, Gene Nelson is
right underneath that's the Mahomes Kaboom.
Like a second relative. He's like a second cousin of my dad, and so they were, when I was a kid growing up, we had easy access to Gene Nelson. He's a cool guy, man. So he signed a bunch of cards for us.
But yeah, I have that for you, waiting for you still. But yeah, the Kaboom Mahomes. I don't even know if you're going to ever be able to even see it. The line is back here. Let's see if I can get
That's good to know that that's on every single Kaboom.
And what's funny is Bryant from Tampa Card Shop has the Brady that he bought at a show and graded it, and his got a 10, even though it has the line on it. So the line's not indicative of a 9 or a 10. They just grade really hard to get a 10. Mine's fresh pack pulled, directly put into that sleeve with my hand shaking and everything. It's the best way to put it.
Yeah.
But yeah, like you were saying, I've never graded a card. The only thing I've ever graded ever was a figure of original Luke Skywalker figure, and I was helping a friend sell a set of them that he had bought. And the guy was like, "I'll buy it if we grade one and it comes back authentic," because they fake that stuff too. That's the only time I've ever sent anything in to get graded ever in my life. But have you seen? I mean, I know there's multiple different grading companies. Everybody has some type of different avenue with each company for the most part, especially the newer companies. But have you seen HGA's vertical slab? Which, like, this card would be perfect for if it would sell at a PSA level.
Yeah, I have seen it. It's like they got like a little fat slab that's built for horizontal cards.
Yeah, it's fantastic looking. From what I've seen, I'm hoping to see one this weekend at the show, but I don't know if they'll be out because they're so new. There's not that many of them.
I like the HGA. I'm not gonna lie, man. I got an HGA, my first HGA slab last week, and it's wonderful, man. The thick, ultra clear plastic, feels very solid and feels good quality. Feels like
there's such a big deal with the customization of a slab being, it's especially something you're going to keep, maybe more than move. I think PSA is the whole, I'm going to move this card, or I'm keeping this as an investment. Same thing with certain levels of BGS, and then only specific cards in SGC, which I think SGC is slowly growing on a lot of people, and with their ability to turn cards around faster than everybody else, they're going to create a heavy market swing. CSG, they just need to change the color of that label, which I which I definitely know they're working on. This is actually going to happen. So they will be changing from the green. Now, does that make the green more popular later? I don't know, because that might come down to, hey, this was the original grade 5-10 years down the line. I don't really know. That's how you tell something is an old slab versus a new slab. Same thing with PSA and the other ones, for the most part. Grading wise, I think the hardest grade in the comp or anybody is BGS, for sure. But the Kabooms are really cool. Some people say like downtown's better than Kabooms. I've had both in my hands. And the Kabooms, the downtowns this year, if you go look at the Brady downtown this year, that is a disgrace. That card should never, ever, ever, ever have been printed. It is horrible. It is the worst rendition of Pirates that I've ever seen in my life. Like for a 3-year-old, okay? Like if somebody's making Pirates of the Caribbean for a 3-year-old.
This one right here?
Yeah, that thing is god awful. Like, that's a disgrace to Tom Brady.
Wait, isn't this? Okay, this is very similar to what the 2020 one looks like too.
Yeah, well, that's the newer one, but it's horrible. Look at that. That's come on.
Yeah.
Come on. Just give me a crazy looking wooden pirate ship. Don't give me whatever that is.
It looks like, it does look like some kids did with crayons or something.
It's horrible. Why would you do that to somebody?
Well, did you ever see the 2020 Justin Herbert was apparently um, they ripped off the artistry from the Lightning Man in the background, the Bolt Man or whatever they call him in the background from the 2020 Justin Herbert was like found on a famous artist's Instagram profile, something that he posted like 2-3 years ago.
Listen, I understand that. Listen, Panini and all these companies, they're so cheap with wanting to buy a photograph from a person, get some artwork done. Marvel, for instance, Marvel Masterpieces through Upper Deck, a lot of their sketch artists that they choose, they don't pay them what they even offer on the secondary market. It is crazy what they offer, but at the same time, you're getting put on a premier product and it's being showcased. So you do it for advertisement, I guess, at that point. But yeah, I get really disappointed with imagery on cards because I like photography. That's a really big deal. And I love sports photography. And I'm like, how hard is it to pay some guy to take a few pictures of a guy during a game and just pull one or two off to make the cards different? Because, like, for instance, you saw Mosaic or Absolute and all that. It's a lot of times it's the same image. One's a little closer than the other, but nothing's different. So you're basically buying the same card with just a different logo and design on it. And I hate that. Yeah, CSG slabs are fantastic, honestly. I mean, I have an idea. I have an idea for slabs. I don't even want to mention it because I don't want to give them an idea. I want to see if anybody can come up with it on their own. But, you know, you're putting an important card in something and it's not being protected to its fullest. I think CSG has one of the best cases. HGA's case is really clear and very sturdy also. I know they've had issues in the past with the gluing down of the product, but you know, you say the card shortage due to paper, it's actually due to glue. There's a specific glue that goes in between the cards that's very clear and thin. And there was a shortage of that. I pull cards apart for fun. Like here's a George Kittle. Okay, you can see straight through this card. Okay,
don't be pulling apart a Kittle.
That's all right. You can get his rookie autograph card for $150 or less. I mean, Contenders auto.
Where do I find that at?
It's on eBay. I was just looking at it before I jumped on stream with you. He has a Contenders, an Optic, and I think Playoff Absolute or something else.
A rookie ticket auto for less than 150. Are you sure?
Right around 150. 100%. No, I'm 100%. Yeah, go look. His rookie cards aren't that much. Everybody goes Kelsey. Kittle's a better tight end than Kelsey is. I mean, Kittle's an all-around player. Kelsey's
okay. Whoa.
You heard me. No, you heard it right now. Kelsey's a product of Patrick Mahomes, and he's a product the other way around. Because if Patrick Mahomes loses Kelsey and Hill, what does he have? He has what the beginning of his season looked like, where he was losing. Okay. Say what? The word, baby. Bird's the word. That's why I have an AOL still.
You got a big hell nah from Nicholas.
Truth hurts, man. I worry about Mahomes long term because of that, because of those two guys not being on his team at some point.
I don't know if I get on, but I would say George Kittle is a beast, man. He's all around fantastic. But to go out as far as to say he's better, I would say he's probably cooler than Travis Kelce. Like the haircut. I think
Travis Kelce's actually pretty cool. He goes out of his way, dances, jumps around, great.
He does some pretty
aura
cool
and energy and stuff like that. I just think Kittle's a better all-around player. I mean, Kittle blocks very well. He catches very well. He runs routes very well. Pays attention. He's a student of the game, just like Kelce is.
I don't know if I can rank one above the other, man.
The only difference is one guy has Jimmy G as a quarterback, the other guy has Patrick Mahomes.
Sure, I'd be interested to see how well Kittle would do a season as Patrick Mahomes tight end. That would be pretty fascinating.
It'd be very interesting. I mean, they're the two best tight ends in football for sure. I don't know what Kyle Pitts is going to do long term, but he's the next level of the future, I would assume. Because, you know, Kelce and Kittle have already been in the league for quite a while. So how much time do they have left as a tight end? Gronk's a good tight end, but he's all hands. I mean, you watched him play. He's all hands. He ain't got no speed. He don't run no good clean route. He just got a hand. He's got hands like glue. he can grab anything just about that comes near him.
He does have hands like Goop, but he's also known for his blocking ability. He's very good blocker.
I guess you don't see the blocking because at the time he chip blocks and then he goes out for a pass.
And he runs some pretty good routes too.
He runs the same routes. He runs a seam route and an out route all nonstop.
And it's effective.
I mean, it's very effective, but he's good at two things. I love him to death. He's on my team, and it's great watching him play. And I'm telling you, the hands alone, just watching the hands that he has versus like a Brate on the team, and God forbid an OJ Howard that might even touch the ball. You know, it's so different that he can just catch so many things with his hands. It's amazing with what he does. But he has such big hands too. If you ever look at the ball in his hand when he catches it and running. His hand's the same size as the ball, it looks like Andre the Giant hand. And it makes sense. And in the gloves they wear today, they can walk up a wall like Spider-Man. So he should be catching it.
Let me ask you this, Mike. Do you think if Brady retires, Gronk retires?
100%. He's already said 100%. That. Right now, they already asked him, right now, would you play again next year? He said no, but in 3 to 4 months, my answer could easily change. So that told me right there he is dependent on what Brady does or what the team does to bring in another star quarterback. Because Blaine Gabbert and Kyle Trask, even though Arian said we're good with them, no, we are not. I'm not good with them. They're horrible. I'm
loving all the love for tight ends right now, man. Look at this. We got a shout out for Pat Freiermuth. Did you check out some Pat Freiermuth?
I like Freiermuth, but who's going to throw him the ball?
Well, we're going to find somebody in Pittsburgh to throw him the ball. When we're going to sing Gardner Mississippi Mustache.
I would love Minshew to go there. Minshew's so exciting. I don't know how he doesn't run out of energy throughout the game, jumping around like a maniac. You know, but Rudolph is in front of a sleigh. That's all. The only thing he leads is a sled. Outside of that, no. He's a bench warmer. He's Mike Glennon 2.0. That's all he is.
That's a bold take, Mike Glennon.
Well, it is what it is.
But Haskins is going to get a shot, and they may
potentially
draft. They may draft.
Where does Brissett go at some point? Because Brissett's a very usable quarterback. He's going to be somewhere that just somebody needs a team. You know,
yeah, but quarterback. 2021 wasn't such a good look for the smoked brisket.
I understand that, but what are the Redskins going to do? They're willing to pay for people.
They are. That's an interesting landing spot for a QB. I don't think that Taylor Heineke showed enough. He's
great against the Bucks, but everybody else, he don't have it.
And he had a couple decent games. I mean, he was very up and down, man.
But when against us, he looked like he was like Michael Vick 2.0. I mean, it was ridiculous.
You know, I see Kyle Pitts, man. Kyle Pitts breaking rookie receiving records as a tight end. I think there's, part of this new era is going to be more tight end. I was talking to Carter about this last week, and the fact that defensive players like Micah Parsons, for example, they're getting faster, more flexible. Yep. They're more versatile, being able to play in different positions on the field, more defensive flex guys per se. And the tight end is really like a wide receiver lineman flex. I mean,
it really is.
Right?
Your delayed wide receivers really are all you are, and you have a better benefit being delayed because the play's developed already in front of you. You already know where the hole is. Again, that's what makes Gronk so good for Brady. He already knows where the hole is. He knows where he needs to go because the play's already pre-developed in front of him by a second or two, and that's a lot for a player when everything's moving quickly. And that's why him and Brady are such good rapport. He knows where the hole is, and he just says, go to the hole, and if Brady needs to, he'll find me. And a good quarterback's going to do that. And Matt Ryan did that with Kyle Pitts. But what happens when Matt Ryan's gone? He's only got a year or two left. We have a massive changing of the guard in quarterbacks in the next 3 years. Massive. Like guys that will just stop playing, and they won't be around or will not even get a chance to start. All these new young guys that we're seeing, they're the next wave. They're the next 15 years of football. Not all of them, but at least 5 to 6 of them easily. And you're going to have your new guys come in, which I don't even like the quarterback class coming out this year in college. So like, I'm not dependent on them. I'm dependent on what's already out there and where people go. I mean, what happens if Miami brings somebody in? Where does Tua go? Or what does Tua do? You know what I'm saying? It's just like, it just becomes a little bit of a shuffle. in the next 2 years where everybody lands and it kind of just finishes out their career. And that's where we are right now with a lot of these guys, because Russell Wilson doesn't want to be in Seattle. Aaron Rodgers doesn't know what he wants to do, if he's going to stay or go. You have, like somebody said, Mitch Trubisky. He's a good quarterback. He's not a bad quarterback. He's on a bad team. What happens if you put him in a good situation where he has a little bit to throw to? But you have like Atlanta, Calvin Ridley's deal's up. Are they going to re-sign him? Matt Ryan's getting old. Do they rebuild from this point?
Calvin Ridley, is he still in the NFL?
Yeah, but I mean, got to think about it. He was one of the top receivers for a while.
Well, yeah, but I mean, personal issues, this
agree.
and that. I mean, he virtually missed the entire 2021 season.
Listen, don't be surprised if crazy Antonio Brown, ends up on a team next year. He's trying to get on the Ravens. That's with him wearing that jersey the other day in the picture. That is very deliberate. And if he goes there, expect implosion. Do not buy a Ravens card. And if Raven invests in the thing, sorry, buddy, but you don't want him on your team.
So, right. Gardner Minshew is behind Jalen Hurts, and Jalen Hurts kind of flamed out against the Bucs, but he kind of didn't at the same time. They're
two different quarterbacks.
Right. Gardner Minshew, they're two different quarterbacks, but I think that, do you think that Philadelphia moves forward with Jalen Hurts in 2022, therefore leaving a tremendous trade asset in Gardner Minshew on their bench, or do you think
100% they do that?
So
like I'm pretty sure they're still Jalen Hurts 100%. They're not going to keep Gardner Minshew, because if they do, it's going to be conflict of interest the entire season. Because Gardner Minshew's made it completely clear everywhere he's ever been, I'm good enough to start. I'm the better quarterback. I can do this. I can prove it. And when he plays, he's exciting.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
And he learns quickly. That's the one thing people don't realize. He went over there and learned very quickly and started using weapons very quickly. And he has a massive learning curve over Jalen Hurts, obviously being in the league longer, and being at some point very successful. Where's he going to go? I would love to see him in Pittsburgh. I think he'd be a great asset to Pittsburgh personally. And he'd be a way cheaper price than any of the other guys.
I'll tell you right now, looking at his rook cards here sold on eBay, they are cheap, man.
They are cheap because he's a what if player. He's that guy.
Yeah, he's definitely a what if player, but he's like a what if of FOMO again with one big game. New opportunity, one big game. We could see these values double.
He'd be another great guy to also go to the Redskins.
There you go. I love it. I mean, Terry McLaurin's fantastic.
They have great receivers over there. I have a friend who's a huge Redskins fan, and they talk about everything. Chase Young will be coming back from his injury. They have a good defense. They're a very good young team.
Curtis Samuel could never get healthy last year. They drafted that De'Ami Brown, who's a speedster, who's got skills. Logan Thomas was pretty solid tight end. Antonio Gibson is a monster running back.
That's what I'm saying. They have the tools in place. They're missing the quarterback at the end of the day.
Definitely missing a consistent quarterback. So you would consider, I mean, now with having your pick of the litter, say you got $100, you decided this is it. I'm going to invest my $100 in Gardner Minshew. Would you buy?
You can't go wrong with Gardner. Yeah, you can't go bad with. I would find the best $100 card at that point. You always want to go contenders. You always want to go contenders. Yeah, I would go one card.
Now you're speaking my language, brother.
I would go contenders on card auto if I could, not optic, the base. And the reason the base sells for more, like always people will say like, oh, well, the optic's a nicer card. You understand the contenders. That's why the Brady card's it's condition sensitive. An optic card's a chrome card. It's thick. It's easy to grade. It's like all the new Prism that 20,000 graded PSA 10. There's nothing super special about it other than just what it is passed into the grading. That's why I was talking about everybody being grading condition sensitive now, especially the new people in the hobby, because the majority of the people back in the hobby are for the last 2 years. And grading has been thrown down everybody's throat, as in, if you don't have it graded, you don't know how good the card is. You don't know what it's really worth. And I mean, like I said, I've never graded a card. I love buying raw cards. I open a lot of retail. I get into breaks. That's what I like to do. It's like, for instance, this Jamar Chase This is the shorter print version of his rookie card.
Oh yeah, the portrait, man. I dig those portraits.
This is only like a $15 card, but why? You know what I mean? It just makes no sense. And those are the type of things, that I just look at and I'm just like, because it's not graded, it's not worth anything. I just feel the swing of a grade, even to a 9, it can multiply so much, and it just kind of forces you into that situation.
Yeah, it's good to see that the grading still is a thing, because I mean, I think it's important. However, there are a ton of us that just flip raw to raw. I know you do that.
Yeah, 100%. But I mean, at the end of the day, grading, PSA slowing down and not taking cards is what caused the hobby to free fall. Like 100%. I agree that. Everybody not being able to flip cards by grading, because the amount of investment that goes up from a raw to a graded card, especially if you really know what you look for, stop people from being able to flip. Retail card-based sealed wax became mundane. I mean, you can't make more than $5 or $10 on a blaster box right now, when a year and a half ago, it was double to triple your money. And that's why there were lines of people waiting to get into places. I still will wait till store opens to go in, assuming that it's going to stock. And if it's there's like maybe one other person there with me, when there used to be 20. So that just tells you where that's at. Retail's kind of dead, and stuff's sitting there for a few days before it sells out. I don't care what it is. Plus the prices have gone up, and now the entry level to get into something used to be $20. Now it's, 30 to 35. So people don't buy it anymore. So they're kind of phasing people out, and people are just buying it because they aren't used to seeing it. It's more of an impulse buy than it is a want. And that's what I've noticed lately.
It is. Definitely get those impulse buyers, man.
Oh yeah. I mean, I was the other day for a restock. I didn't buy a single thing. Only I was looking for was some top loaders, and they ain't put any out. So I was like, okay, I'm out.
And
they were fully stocked. And I was just like, I don't want any of this. None of this is worth it. I'd rather spend, an extra $10 and get into a break on hobby and have a better chance of pulling something of value, versus just buying this retail box here and then probably ending up with a whole bunch of stuff I don't care for.
So I want to address Parabellum Gaming's comment. What's up, man? Here, I like the San Francisco. I'd love to see you change the profile picture to yourself wearing a San Francisco helmet. That would be pretty cool, man. But no, I want to talk about this quickly, because I have heard that the USFL actually beat the XFL to a season. So it's actually going to be the USFL kicking off in, I think, May, and it's going to be a 10-game season. Jeff Fisher has already agreed to be the coach of some Road Warriors team or something like that. I can't remember what it's called.
Yeah, we have the Tampa Bay Bandits coming back.
Yeah, the Tampa Bay Bandits coming back. So this is interesting. What do you think that's going to have an impact in terms of summertime? I don't think it's going to, me personally, I don't think it's going to have much of an impact, but I want to hear your opinion.
Here's the thing with XFL, USFL, arena football, all of them for the most part. If the play on the field is bad, nobody wants to watch it. When XFL originally first came back a few years back, I don't remember how many years it was, the play on the field was horrible. There were so many false starts. Players weren't on the same page. You could definitely tell some of these people have never even played football at a professional level. Now, a Jeff Fisher team might be completely different, but a lot of these other teams didn't have core previously NFL, coaches coaching a team either. And if you go and you bring the right guys into this, guys straight from college, a couple years out, NFL guys that just can't quite make the cut, and you form a team that way where they understand how to play football at the right level, it'll be successful. But if you have a whole bunch of just penalties all day long and a bunch of just incomplete passes or interceptions nonstop, people aren't going to watch it. And that's really where it comes down to. What made the USFL such a big deal against the NFL way back in the 80s was it was competitive, and they were getting players directly out of college that weren't even going to the draft because they were already making $4 to $5 million just to go to the USFL versus making $1 million to go to the NFL. So they basically bought their players and then had good players, obviously, because people go back and look for USFL rookie cards of Steve Young, Jim Kelly, Reggie White, players like that. And they were doing the right thing at that time. They just had an infrastructure problem that caused that to collapse, basically. And then the NFL took over after that. So if the game on the field is good, we'll watch. It'll be exciting. If not, nobody's going to care. Because at the end of the day, they all want to be in the NFL. So, what was it? The guy's name?
I think that the USFL could be kind of like a probation type of ground, like a training ground, so to speak, to where, you make your way back if you do well at the USFL. It's like the Squid Games or something for the NFL.
If they're smart, they partner with the NFL and do something like that. Almost make it like an in-between college and pro. Almost like if you're on the practice squad, except you're actually playing against other people to display your talent. Time will tell, but I don't know about it.
Yeah, that'll be interesting. That'll be very, very interesting. All right, man. Well, I really appreciate you coming on tonight, Mike. Man, this is
are you
stuff,
gonna make any picks for Underdog? I lost 2 of my picks last night or last week.
Well, Scaladesi, the Hitman had some internet issues, but I gotta finish a slip for Underdog before I put you on the spot here for.
That's right. I did one earlier today, so I put $10 down on a 5 pick. So
yeah, we got to get you. We got to get you going. Some 2022 best ball, Mike. We got to get some 2022 best ball going pretty soon too. All right, so I'm gonna let you call out some picks here, man. What are you feeling like in this? On the Cincinnati side of this ball, I went with the over on CJ Uzomah. I feel very safe about that one.
Yeah, I did that last week too, which was an easy payoff. The only thing I lost last week was Joe Burrow rushing yards. He needed, I think, 8.5 last week, and he got 5. And that was the only thing that made me lose. Everything else I nailed.
So close.
So close. Like, and the run, it looked like 10 yards when he ran it, but that was more probably in my mind. But I figured he would rush more than one or 2 times during the game just to get out of the pocket and go.
Yeah, well, he got sacked 9 times. He tried.
That's why I figured he'd have to run for his life. One of the other things I like is Jamar Chase here. Earlier they had a special where you could it was 1 reception over or something like that. I don't know what they do with that, where it's like a special at the top of the screen when I was
you get those. I love those specials because they're basically helping you out with the first leg of your picks.
Correct.
But they only sell those. They only allow so many people to pick those, and then when so many people, then they're gone. So
yeah, correct. Which I was happy because mine's over 1 reception, so I was like, I'll take that.
Yeah. I think I would have to start doing this live stream on Tuesday night to capitalize on that because Underdog is growing. They're a growing platform.
No, they are.
So real quick, if you're new and you have not yet signed up for Underdog Fantasy, you can do so at any time. But if you do it with my promo code QUEST, you'll get a 100% instant deposit bonus added to your account like that. Up to $100, an instant $100 free added to your account. And you can try and 20x your money on these player prop bets. We're basically just picking over, under on certain players' stats. It's a lot of fun. So, Mike,
yep.
Talk to me here. CJ Uzomah, I'm going over on him.
Mm-hmm. I agree with that. I think that's a no-brainer at this point. He's their main guy in the middle of the field that they definitely have to have. Patrick Mahomes, 30 rushing yards. I don't know. I think his 291 passing yards, I would go over personally. He's been a machine throwing the ball lately. I don't see that being an issue for him in this game. Just because if you start looking at, the defense of the Bengals, in a pass heavy offense like him and Tyreek Hill, if they do what they did in the last game where they push everybody up the field and bring Hill through the middle, he'll just light it up again. There's nothing that's going to stop that one single bit. Absolutely nothing. They don't have linebackers like the Bucs do. They can't play the middle of the field and move back and tackle. And he was just wide open on that second to last play, which moved him down the field to kick that field goal. If they do that a couple of times during the game, that they're not going to be able to stop them. Mm-hmm. So I would definitely do the Mahomes over the 291 passing yards, which I did already, for sure.
Yeah, 291 seems pretty low. He's hit that over.
Yeah,
through last games, and also the rushing. He's hit the over on this rushing as well.
Yeah, I went over on passing on Burrow and Mahomes because I think it's going to be a shootout.
It's got to be a shootout, right?
I don't see it. Yeah, I don't see it being a boring game. We haven't had boring games in the playoffs. Even when we were losing up front, we came back. Everything's been pretty tight for the most part. And exciting. I just don't see this being like a Packers game where it's, low scoring.
Yeah, that
the rushing from Mixon, I don't trust a whole lot with that, to be honest with you.
That's would be so close. I think that he'll go over on the receiving though.
Oh yeah, I agree with that. I would agree with that more than than the rushing part of it.
Yeah, the Jamar Chase is gone. The Jamar Chase 6 receptions. I feel that one is pretty safe on over.
It's just borderline right there though. Like, it's just oof.
Yeah. I almost like T Higgins 5.5. I go with him just because he's got lower number, but at the same time, why not go to the source? But I've run out on passing, so
yeah.
I like Mahomes too. I think that you're right. I think we're more likely to go over on passing yards here. And the rushing, though, I feel was pretty safe, but I think passing, is even potentially even safer in this game.
Oh yeah, I agree. The Bengals, if they win this, they're going to need some turnover somehow, and some crazy special teams, and they're going to have to shoot it out after that. Jimmy G at 225 passing, that one, he just doesn't, put up the numbers as a regular quarterback does that we're used to, I guess. He's a smart quarterback for the most part. He's a great game manager, and I think that's why people have a lot of knocks on him. But he's usually, the thing is he can light a game up and then do like the other 2 games there where he does pretty much nothing.
316 against the Rams last time they played.
Yeah, I know. That's. I mean, I think San Francisco is going to beat the Rams. I mean, I just you heard San Francisco 2 years ago should have been in the Super Bowl, and then last year they were just desecrated by injuries all over the field. They had no Jimmy G, no Garoppolo, no running back, no defense. Everybody was hurt.
Nick Bosa's stud.
What's Cam Akers? 59.
I like this 18.5 receiving yards actually.
Yeah, I wouldn't. That's
money.
Yeah, that's an easy one, I think.
That's money right there.
They should double team Kupp, unlike the Buccaneers did in the last play. But
man, they tempt me so bad with this 31.5 Van Jefferson receiving.
I know, because they have a tendency. Well, even the Odell at 52.5.
Even 2.5 receptions. I mean,
come on. I mean,
you didn't hit it.
I mean, I like that because they're gonna have to double team Kupp and probably Odell. That's gonna leave Jefferson open for at least, I would assume, at least 6 targets. That's what I pay attention to a lot when I'm looking at a lot of this stuff for receivers is targets.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. For sure.
Yeah, 2.5 receptions for Van Jefferson. I mean, he could be the unsung hero of the team. That's the thing. But I mean, look how low the targets were.
He's not getting the volume because he hasn't had to go elsewhere from Cooper Kupp. Cooper Kupp, still getting that bell cow share of targets and converting. So it's
San Francisco's got a really good secondary, so you have to keep that in mind too.
I don't think San Francisco's secondary is that good. I mean, I think it's decent, but it's not nearly as good as their pass rush.
I guess that probably contributes to the lack of targets though, because if you go look at them against 49ers alone, Kupp had 7 targets. Van Jefferson, I think, had 1 or 2. I don't even know if Odell was on the team at the time. So, who were they throwing to?
Kupp's got Cup's got a massive matchup advantage this weekend against San Francisco. I mean, honestly, I think that's one of their San Francisco's. I don't know, man. I think
I don't see Cam Akers getting 59.5 rushing yards.
Yeah, I like the Odell Beckham, honestly, the best. Either that or Van Jefferson 31.5 because he gets so close and it's literally one play.
Yeah,
one
that's true.
play. That's all you need is one play. I got to go back to it because I went over on Van Jefferson last week. I think I'm gonna go under on Cooper Kupp this week because they put it up so high.
Yeah, I know it is pretty high. It's over 100.
It's over 100, man. Or Jimmy Garoppolo 1.5 rushing yards.
I don't know. That scares me just because of the Burrow I went through last week. I mean, I was assuming to get more than 2 yards rushing if he fell forward.
I don't think Debo gets there this game either. I don't think Debo hits his total yardage.
Well, didn't they have it was 99 with rushing and receiving combined? Wasn't that an option?
Yeah, it is combined.
And he runs the ball a lot, but that he was beat up after last week.
He's banged up. Yeah, he's banged up. I mean, he's gonna play. He's gonna play, right? But yeah. I think he could be more of a decoy in this game than anything.
Yeah, I can
Let's
see
do
that.
A contrarian.
Yeah,
this could be the Kittle game, man. Kittle could have a big game, man. You're talking him up tonight.
You gotta watch out for him.
I'm going in a $10 slip there.
There you go.
I'll probably do a couple more. Let's see who.
My funds are getting low because I got beat up the last couple weeks. But I was also trying to do some crazy stuff too.
Hits, divisional round recap hits. Jamar Chase went over. Joe Burrow went over. Aaron Jones under on rushing. Jeff Ferksker and Swaim went under. Cameron Brate under. Josh Allen over big time. Gabriel Davis over big time. Patrick Mahomes over. Let's see. Rushing yards on Patrick Mahomes. Yeah, he does use his legs a lot. In his last 8 playoff games prior to last week, he has averaged 36 rushing yards per game. And he hit
were
the
they half a
69.
point underneath it, I think?
Sorry, say that again?
Are they half a point underneath that?
Where'd he go? There he goes. Yep.
I know they're 6 points underneath it. You said 36.5. They have him at 30.5.
Yep, I know. They're 30. They're 5.5 points under his average for.
So I would take the over on that 100%.
Yeah. Van Jefferson under 2.5. I think we should go under on Van Jefferson's 2.5 receptions because his usage has been dwindling, which we talked about. It's just
a tough one because every once in a while he has just a banger game.
I'd rather go under on Jimmy Garoppolo's passing yards.
Yeah, so would I.
Yeah, 222 because, all right, look, he's only 152 passing yards per game and 6 yards per attempt, all ranked last among the remaining quarterbacks. We know that. They also run the ball 58% of their offensive snaps, making them the most run-heavy team this weekend. I think Matthew, you know what's interesting? If we parlay the under on Jimmy G's passing yards with the under on Matthew Stafford's passing yards, what are Matthew Stafford's passing yards at? 278. Because he failed to pass for more than 250 yards in both games against San Francisco this season.
Mm-hmm. And that's the thing that's so interesting about this matchup. You know, these are teams that play each other twice in a year, so they know each other very well. So what's the other team going to do different that's going to throw the other team off? Or, you know, what's the one big play that somebody's going to have done to them that's going to change the game? Because that's what this is going to come down to.
I'm going to go back and look at Joe Mixon, 57.5. And it's 57's a little bit higher than what the average. I mean,
I couldn't go over on that.
Well, the thing is, though, he's taken at least 14 carries in his 8 games. In the last 8 games, and has gone over 51.5 rushing yards, 7 of them, including last week's.
What was his rushing yards against the 49ers when they played them? Or have they played them? That would be a question, because the 49ers have a good run defense.
No. I'm talking about Joe Mixon. I went back
to... I'm sorry. Yeah, I'm just going through my head
this season, every running back who has totaled at least 13 carries against Kansas City has surpassed 51.5 rushing yards. So it's going to be like a coin toss for Joe Mixon rushing here. But I mean,
they're going to have to run the ball.
Well, that's the thing. If they want to keep it, the way you stop Patrick Mahomes from putting more points on the board is you control the ball, control the clock,
control the time. Yeah.
So if they're going to win, Joe Mixon's going to have to play a big part in that.
Oh yeah, 100%.
So I'm going over on Joe Mixon.
He did good for my fantasy football this year.
Oh boy. And then we got to do a contrary. I think we should do a contrary on CJ Uzomah and hit the under. Right. Because I mean, we could say that his last 2 performances have been the anomaly because of some big plays in there.
I agree.
Because based on Uzomah's production numbers over a bigger sample size from weeks 7 to 17, Uzomah recorded more than 36 receiving yards only once, Mike.
Oh, wow.
Only once, dude. So the chances are he goes under. They've had a few big plays. So we filled out a second slip right there.
Here we go.
There we go. Let's do it. I'm going in another 10, man. This is championship week.
Put $1,000 down.
I gotta play some BestBall, man. I gotta save some money for BestBall. I'm not a new user anymore. I can't just get that instant deposit.
Neither am I. I know. I'm not either.
I'm gonna have to go create fake accounts for my cat and put in promo code Quest. Get 100% deposit.
Meow Quest. Meow Quest. That'll be the name. That's funny.
All right, man. Now, before I let you get out of here, I gotta ask you what your play of the week is right now. We need to comp somebody. We need to see if we can find a snipe of somebody on eBay right now. I need you to give me a play of the week.
Well, Ayuk's cards I think are cheap for what you can get. A Contenders on-card auto, even graded. I think that's a pretty decent play because Debo can't do everything. And Ayuk's a very good receiver. The other guy that's kind of cheaper right now, going Bengals wise, is T. Higgins versus Jamar Chase. Because Jamar Chase is getting all the love. T. Higgins is a fantastic receiver as well. You may think they all play second fiddle, but they're basically A1 and A2, but on each team. At any given point, they can be the star.
I love that, man. I could definitely get down on some Brandon Ayuk and T. Higgins.
Yeah.
So these are both 2020 athletes. Are you going right back to the Contenders? Going back?
I would usually go Contenders or Prism. if you're looking for bang for your buck for cost, obviously low serial number of cards, just the lower you can get, the better. I don't care about the whole patch cards because all the patches are fake. So there's no value in it to me. The autograph and the number on the cards, what's truly determining anything. And that's why I feel that more recent with National Treasures and stuff, that they look nice, but they're not extra special anymore.
I'm seeing it looks like a value right here. SGC 910 auto.
I think somebody put a 1010 auto up a little while ago for 150, which is a little high, but it was best offer. Before I jumped on, I was kind of scrolling through these.
I'm looking at sold items as well.
Yeah, I got you.
Let me get out of the sold items.
And I do like the throwback version of that Ayuk where it's looking like the older contenders.
Oh, yeah.
There
really
you
like go.
That.
There's the 1010.
Yep.
Any auctions? Let's see. Check it out. Auctions ending soonest. Friday, 1:37 a.m. Oh, here you go.
Released one too, so that didn't even see circulation.
Ooh, that's.
And those are the type of things I look for too when I'm trying to compare a card. Do they have some that were considered redemptions? Because that's usually what that means. It was a redemption, so it never saw a pack.
What? So, how much would you feel comfortable paying for this?
Well, I mean, I don't think that one's going to go over $40.
I think that's a pretty good value, wouldn't you? Wouldn't you say?
I do, yeah. Especially being young. I mean, he's only his second year in the league. Whether it's Garoppolo or Lance, he's still going to be there for a while, and he's going to be one of the main guys. So it's not like he's going to go away and you'll never see him again. I mean, unless he does like a Stephon Diggs deal, but I haven't seen that type of action out of him as an individual.
Well, I'm not going to be up at 1:37 a.m.
No, those are when you can't snipe them. You just put it in. This is your number, and you walk away. You know, I did that earlier today.
If I put in four, would you recommend? How do you do it? You recommend rounding up to the 88 cents?
Yeah, I do. I always do a weird number. Yeah, because a lot of people like to do over by a 2 cents, 12 cents. They don't go past it. And to lose something by 40 cents, I mean, there's nothing worse, really, to be honest with you. If you lose anything under $1.
Boom.
So there's his highest bid, 32.01. Perfect example of what the individual would do.
Oh, man, I didn't realize it got $6.50 in shipping, but I guess it's a big case he's shipping it in.
Yeah, well, in the future, your card's going to go to CSG. They're going to look at it for you, even though it's in a Panini thing, tell you it's real. You'll wait another week, and then they'll finally send it to you.
If it was over $750, right?
Yeah, well, they want to do that with all cards at some point moving forward. Like almost to the point that you would – I think it's going to get to the point where you send them the card just for the verification, almost like a ComC or anything else, and then they just send it to the person who buys it. And I think they're trying to eliminate the amount of people sending cards back to people. Like they're pretty much saying like you can't send this back because that costs them a lot of money too. So this might be more financially beneficial to go this route. I just don't know if CSG is going to do it because everybody's behind on grading. You know, even a CSG isn't like, you know, freely flowing where a card comes in that day, you're going to grade it and get it out that day, you know, and they're going to have a whole separate division just for eBay stuff. So I don't really know how that's going to work.
Taxing me on that shipping. That's what's up. I still think
it's in a thicker case. It's in a mag.
Yeah, I think it's a snipe, man.
We'll see.
Going for it.
Well, what do you think is going to happen with the Buccaneers real quick? Like, if Tom Brady doesn't come back, what do we do? Godwin's contract's up. He's hurt.
Yeah, we let Kyle Trask and Blaine Gabbert battle it out, man.
No, we don't. No, please.
We bring in Gardner Minshew, baby.
I would hope so.
New biggest fan. Wouldn't that be sick? I don't know. Something in me thinks that Brady actually might retire this offseason.
No, it's so a little birdie told me from a player that Brady told him to his face, if we win the Super Bowl this year, I'm going to retire. So, because he was trying to ride out in the sunset. You know, Breeze and Manning both did that, or not Breeze, but Elway and Manning are the only two quarterbacks to do that. Now, he likes to do things nobody else does, or very few have ever done. He puts himself into those situations on purpose. He doesn't have a whole lot to really play for other than the Super Bowl at this point. Pretty much, he owns about every record possible. And God forbid, the only person that may catch him if they play long enough at this point at that level is going to be Mahomes. And that's just, after that, I couldn't tell you the next guy up unless a Herbert or a Burrow can sustain this for 20 years.
For sure. So, yeah, that would leave us in a very interesting situation. It's going to put us slightly in a little bit of a rebuild. We're going to have to pull in somebody. I haven't looked at the contract status for everybody on our defense.
Well, there were a lot of people. Well, defense-wise, not so bad. Offense-wise, we had a lot of guys on one-year deals. The only running back we have under contract right now is Keyshawn Vaughn.
Yeah, I know we got a lot of offense, but that would be very good if most of our defensive players are coming back next year. I feel a lot better, man.
Yeah, I think the only guy that really may not be, I don't remember what Sue's deal is, but JPP's on a couple-year deal. Obviously, Shaq Barrett's on a longer deal. White's still good. Levante's still good. I think majority of our defensive backs are fine. I mean, Vita Vea has signed a longer extension. So, I mean, there's not going to be a whole lot. I'd like to see us get a little younger on the front line and the defensive backs more than anything.
Yeah, we just need more corners. We need defensive backs, man.
We need as many corners as we can find.
Yeah, for real.
But I appreciate you inviting me on. Let me pop on here and yap for a little bit. Always have fun doing that. And then hopefully I'll see you at a show soon.
Yeah, man, it's worked out. I mean, I'll have to call Steve after this, make sure he's all right. Make sure he doesn't need like me to call a snowmobile to come rescue him.
We don't have snow problems down here.
but yeah, man, this has been awesome. We've been looking to catch up, and this has been awesome, man. So I appreciate you, Mike.
I appreciate it, man. I just enjoy it. Anytime, man. You just let me know.
I will do. You know what? Next time I want you to come on, I'm just going to bark.
And you go with the local guy, too.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. All right, guys. I'll see you next time.
Peace.
I just love playing these videos. What are you guys still doing?
I always thought about starting to get things where